What's going on, guys? We got another SBT match in the Conquerors division. This is in week 3, where we have Toxic versus PZZ. Two coaches that are sitting at the top of the standings right now. Neither of them have taken an L, so one of them has to come out, with a loss today. But let's go over their teams really quickly. Toxic brought his Garchomp. This is Mega Guard. Oh no, Garchomp, a Thunderous Eye, Mega Gardevoir, Celesteela, Muck Alola, Vaporeon, and the PZZ brought his Hoopa Unbound, his Mega Pidgeot, Infernape, Gliscor, the Galarian Slowking, and the Tapu Fini. So they've already started the match, so we can just try to catch up right now, and let's see what they lead on their ends. So it looks like PZZ leads with his Slowking, as Toxic leads with his Thundy. Obviously, Thundy could do a couple of things here. He could U-turn, he could taunt, he could do a bunch of things. Slowking can go for the attack. Obviously, if this is Life Orb, it's going to do a lot of damage, or he could teleport out if he needs to. So it looks like he goes for the knock, getting rid of the Assault Vest, and Sludge Bomb doing a decent amount of damage there. PZZ swaps out into the Gliscor. Obviously, Thunderous can't really touch this thing. Thundy probably maybe predicting Gliscor to come in, going for the knock. Either way, knock was a good move on his end because nothing really wants to take it, especially the Pidgeot does not want to come in on that. So Toxic he actually just pivots out. We could be seeing the Vaporeon, we could be seeing the Steela, we could be seeing a lot of things come in here. Gliscor does a really good job against Toxic's team. I don't know if Gardevoir really wants to come in here. Vaporeon does come in. He could have the Ice Beam. Scald is just nice. He could be going for a flip turn. We do see the rocks, and there is a flip turn. It doesn't do too much, obviously, and he's going to get some momentum here. It's a shame because had he gone into something prior, he didn't really need that momentum, and since PZZ stayed in, he obviously predicted Toxic not to go for the Ice Beam there. So getting rocks is really nice. Obviously, Toxic doesn't really appreciate things getting chipped. We do see Gardevoir finally coming in here, tracing that Poison Heal. It probably should have come in the turn prior, but of course Toxic was still trying to scout whatever this Gliscor was going to have. Since we saw rocks, we probably know that it's not set up. It still could be, but Gliscor could have U-turn, and Gliscor could be swapping out right here. There's not too much that wants to swap into this, and obviously I think Galarian Slowking is a proper switch in, but of course a Psychic move is going to be doing a lot of damage, especially at +1 now that his Gardevoir is in. I'm not sure if he can live a Psyshock here, but we'll just have to see. I don't know the investment of this thing. Of course, PZZ can pivot into his Hoopa if he wants to. I don't know if Toxic wants to continuously set up right here. He could try that. If he had sub, I think he would have stayed in regular form. If he wanted to continuously set up, because if this Slowking, I'm not sure if he gets Thunder Wave. I know the Slowbro does, so that is gonna live. Did a lot of damage, and the Sludge Bomb doing equally as well. Sawshog still did a lot. That's crazy that +1 doesn't actually OHKO this thing, but I'm guessing this is probably max defense Assault Vest kind of set, and I think Toxic can easily just go for the Hyper Voice here if he wants to. I'm not sure how much that's really going to do, but PZZ can't really over predict here. He kind of just has to stay in, I think. He could try to go into to Hoopa. The thing is that he's probably running damage calcs to find out how bulky this thing is and finding out if he has enough speed. If he has speed enough to creep the Gliscor, then there's no point trying to pivot out into the Gliscor right here, especially to take a really big hit. This Gardevoir obviously putting on a lot of pressure early game. Once PZZ loses this Slowking, well, then again, the Slowking, I'm not sure how necessary it is. It doesn't really beat much. Perhaps this Gardevoir is the only reason it's here. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, it could be a nice response for Celesteela, I guess. It could be a nice response for, like, Thunderous if it wasn't carrying Psychic or something like that. We did see U-turn on Thundy, so we know it's not set up. You know, you can't really bring set up as much as you want, like Gliscor being a very big nuisance. Toxic probably has answers later on for this match. Make sure that he can still uh, revenge that Hoopa, because if that Hoopa isn't Scarf, it's either just choice or in some other respect it could be doing a lot of damage to Toxic's team. But Toxic still does have the Thunderous. He still has some fast pivots. In comes a Pidgeot. It does take a Mystical Fire. PZZ is able to live that hit. That was an interesting switch, really. I don't know if PZZ was just sacking there. And Mystical Fire. I'm really curious if that was for the Finny coming in or something like that. I'm sure Toxic has his reasons there. Like, continuously just setting up Calm Minds would have also been nice. But in comes the Pidgeot. I wonder if this can take Gardevoir out at -1. Most likely not. You might have to U-turn here. No, doesn't get. He gets the Confusion. Okay, so we do Draining Kiss right back. Gardevoir is confused now, and now it looks like PZZ really isn't playing any more games. He just wants to revenge this Gardevoir. If I'm not sure if U-turn kills or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure he really just wants to go for the fire move. Vaporeon can come in, take some chip. I don't know if PZZ really has any plans for this. I don't know if it's even going to be Scarf or not, but it doesn't really feel like it needs to be. Maybe it is, though, because Scale Shot, Guard Chomp could be an issue. In comes the Vaporeon. We do see a U-turn. Okay, so nice play on PZZ's part. I don't know what PZZ would have done if Toxic had stayed in, but that did some decent damage, so maybe this is more offensive. We didn't see any kind of item like a Life Orb, so now PZZ can start breaking with Hoopa if he wants to bring it in. This is going to be doing a lot of damage. We could see a Protect maybe right now, because I don't know if this Hoopa wants to be a Scarf. If it's Nasty Plot, let's see what happens right here. We do see a Nasty Plot, so this is going to be a huge hit. I don't know if he has the Focus Blast. I don't know what he's going to be doing to this Muck, but if he wants to go for the knockoff, he wants to just pivot right now because Gliscor is a nice switch in. Hoopa going for the Nasty Plot is very big. I don't know if PZZ would go for it if he didn't think that he would be doing a lot of damage to this, but this Muck is clearly going to be eating whatever this Hoopa wants to go for. We do see a Trick, so a Ring Target, not bad. That was actually a really nice play. Obviously this Muck can get hit by some Psychic type moves now, so let's see this huge Psychic. Nothing really wants to switch in right now. If Toxic wants to sack the Gardevoir, that makes a lot of sense. Very nice bring on PZZ's end, knowing that Muck was the initial response for this Hoopa, tricking the Ring Target, making it so that his Dark typing becomes neutralized so that his Psychic would be super effective. This is going to be a huge hit. I don't know if it's going to live it. I don't know this Muck's item. Well, we just saw it. It was Black Sludge. So I don't think it's living. See what ends up happening. I have a feeling that Muck was, and he gains the Ring Target right back. Hoopa just being real fire right here. I like the tech. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. No wonder these two are the top of the division right now. Let's see how Toxic wants to respond here. We know that this thing's not Scarf, so it's going to get revenged pretty easily. Obviously, Gliscor can come in, probably take nothing from this hit. So Finny can also come in if this thing wants to start scale shotting. We do see the Misty Surge go up, of course, and we do see an Earthquake doing a respectable amount of damage. I'm curious on that damage, but then again, I don't know their sets, so there's no way this is banded. I wouldn't suggest bringing a band against the Gliscor, but that Finny might just be, just enough defense to take two of these. Garchomp can just go for another one of those if he wants to. I think it actually wins this matchup if this Finny doesn't have Ice Beam, or Moonblast is only going to be doing so much. But I don't know if Finny wants to just drop here, because it looks like a really nice response, like just a blanket check to things like a Steela or Vaporeon. If he wants to trade this Finny for Garchomp right now, that could make a lot of sense. Steela might actually want to come in right now. If Steela doesn't come in, then perhaps the Thunderous comes in. If Garchomp actually wants to go for a Poison Jab right here, I don't think it'll pick up the kill, but it'll be close. That did a lot of damage. There's a Swords Dance. We do see a Moonblast. So, obviously, Garchomp can't Scale Shot right now, but it is going to be able to take out this Finny. PZZ might just want to preserve this, go into Gliscor. Toxic might actually predict that, so curious how he wants to play this, because PZZ obviously gave Toxic the momentum for this Garchomp, and nothing wants to outspeed it except that Infernape, so really good match so far. I think the two of these players have just been passing the momentum back and forth. The Hoopa play was really nice on PZZ's end, getting rid of a nice check for things like Slowking and Hoopa. Otherwise, Hoopa is really low at this point. It can really only take on the Steela and the Vaporeon. Doesn't have recovery, so Hoopa kind of not as nice here anymore. He could have the Thunderbolt, of course, for Steela. So we do see the sack into Hoopa. Makes a lot of sense. Like I said, he was only really good for something like the Steela, or sorry, the Steela and the Vaporeon. It's better just to get Infernape in right now. He kind of needs to just take this thing out, go for a nice fat close combat. I don't think anyone really wants to come in on that. Especially since rocks are up, So we'll see. Ape, I still don't know his item, but it seems very Scarf to me. We could be seeing a really big close combat right now. I don't think he would try to sub here. This thing is a huge threat, and obviously Steela can come in. I'm curious how much it's going to be doing to Vaporeon. I think Vaporeon after rocks might drop, to be honest, but I don't know the investment. I don't know if this is banned. Toxic might even sack the Gardevoir here. Gardevoir is still very nice against the rest of PZZ's team, though. It really seems like Toxic has all the offensive pressure right now, because he can literally just sack one of his walls, or the Thunderous. Thunderous also does well, but it doesn't beat the Gliscor, so. I'm assuming Thunderous has like Taunt, something like that. Could have, like Thunderbolt as his last move or something. We'll see right here. If Toxic just wants to let this thing drop right now, it's a very offensive match. Literally just trading Mon for Mon right now, and the Vaporeon is nice, to be honest. So we do see the sack into Garchomp. It makes some sense, Garchomp did excellent work breaking that Finny, taking out that Hoopa. Finny is still at 67%, so he might want to save that Thunderous, which is why he didn't go into it. We don't know if Ape is locked into that hit, into CC. But Toxic is probably going to try scouting right now. If we do see a double into Vaporeon, he might just be scouting. He could also have the Protect and just try to scout that way, but we do see Finny come in instead. And there's the Autotomize, so very nice play on Toxic End. He kind of banked on Infernape not being or just being Scarf. And this also could be Oka Berry, or it could be Weakness Policy. I'm not too sure how much damage he would be taking from the Infernape, but at this point we think the Infernape is probably Scarf because he would have stayed in there. So this could be Weakness Policy, this could be a lot of things, but Autotomize doing a respectable amount of damage, and we see the Nature's Madness. 2 more heavy slams and this Finny will get taken out, depending on Finny's last couple moves. But we did see Nature's Madness, so I don't know if it has Taunt, and there's no reason to go for Taunt at this point when Steel is already set up. So we could be seeing, if he doesn't have the Water move, then we could just be seeing another Nature's Madness. I have a feeling Toxic might want to Autotomize again, but at the same time 2 heavy slams will take this out. I'm not too sure how necessary Toxic thinks that this Finny getting removed is going to help him win this game. Obviously, with it being as low as it is, it might just be fine. I don't know if Toxic really wants to sack this Steela right now, but we know that PZZ is going to bring Ape in later. Like I said, good match so far. It's it's been 18 turns, 16 minutes. These two are playing their turns fast, but of course they're really thinking. PZZ keeping that Slowking in the back. I wonder if it's just for Gardevoir, because it is walling it somewhat. I don't know if it can wall it when it comes back in at like 50-60%. The end game is coming up, and I have a feeling PZZ's win con is Infernape at this point. Toxic might be trying to win with the Gardevoir. It's a stretch though. In comes Gliscor. He knows that he can take this hit no problem. You know, he heals back up, and I'm curious what Steela wants to do here to break this thing. This thing really does need to get broken down a lot, because the only way Toxic beating this thing is with Vaporeon, and Gardevoir can, you know, bring it down low enough. We do see some seeds there, makes a lot of sense. Get some recovery back. I don't think this Steela was meant to sweep, but it looks like it does have the potential. Another heavy slam, you know, more seed damage, but we do see a U-turn out. So in comes the Slowking. Could just be trying to regen this thing. It makes a lot of sense. Gliscor can come back in pretty simply. Even if PZZ doesn't care about the damage, he could go into Infernape right now. I don't see Toxic trying to sack here, but Slowking could have the the flamethrower. Either way, I think he goes for seeds here. No, he goes for another heavy slam. So not the worst play in the world. Obviously, he's not, like, PZZ needs to heal right here, so that kind of gives Toxic some heal as well. I think seeding there probably was the play. Wow, that did a lot more that time. I'm not sure on that roll. Heavy Slam only did 35 before. This isn't like metronome or something, is it? What is that roll? That's crazy. Okay, well, in any case, we do see the EQ, and All right, so this thing is starting to have a little sweep at the moment. It looks like they did confirm that this was metronome. Um, and this we're at +3. This steel just sweeps at this point. I was wrong. Metronome steel kind of just taking the W right now. Another heavy slam, and then that's kind of over. But that's going to be game. Good game to both coaches, of course. I think PZZ was kind of uh, not expecting a metronome steal, but very good bring on Toxican. I'm curious if that actually was metronome. I'll find out later for you guys. But yeah, that's going to be the game, guys. Toxic takes it 4-0. Clearly a very offensive match, not even lasting 30 turns there. And yeah, join us again. But peace out.